Oh, yeah, let's get to it. Welcome to Keep It Moving with everyone's favorite big uncle and Eli. Let's get to it. And let's keep it moving. That's that good porno music.
Well, good is a strong word for what it is.
It is amazing porno music. If you want better porno music, I think I have a song. Let's see. Can you hear that?
Oh. Nope.
You can't hear it?
Nope.
Good.
Good. Mm-mm. What is up?
Ich sage hallo, guten Tag, wir sind nichts wie negative psych, but all right, I'm just playing around. What's going on, Eli? How you doing? How's your keeping it moving life going?
Pretty good. I would say I'm doing the bare minimum of keeping moving, but you know, some days are like that.
Very interesting. June is... What is June? What do you think June is?
I'm going to say Pride.
No, take another guess.
Straight Pride.
What? What is that even?
A Fidelity Month.
What?
You haven't been paying attention? What's the awful cross-eyed bitch in... what's that awful state no one cares about? She was like Trump's former secretary of being a dumb bitch.
Yeah.
You know, the one with the eyes that can't... She's so crooked, her eyes are like going into business for themselves.
Her daddy is the ambassador to...
Huckabee, yeah, Sanders, Sanders, whatever, yeah.
Yeah, I can't...
You know, she's trying to stay relevant. She's declared June Fidelity Month.
Because she wants to be the first woman to be president.
Good luck, honey. Not with those looks.
Yeah, join the line of men that would not vote for you because you are not attractive.
Yeah, no, just prima facie. You're ugly, no way.
Exactly.
Never mind the fact that you have an ugly heart and bad politics.
Well, listen, I'm not even talking about that. I'm just simply going based off of people like attractive. Rather, it's old attractive or young attractive. They like attractive.
I'm not arguing with
and
you.
And if you cannot see yourself laying in bed with the president or the first lady, then most likely they're not going to be elected. And that's why people think, you know, George W. Bush, for all of his quirkiness,
Laura Bush was a babe,
like relatively attractive people. No, I'm serious. Like the George W. has
Eisenhower, she could get it.
Okay, now you're just being mean. I mean, because nobody even saw them.
Lady Bird, what's her face? Yeah, no, they're all dimes. Jackie Kennedy.
No, Jackie Kennedy Onassis. Yeah, she was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah.
And so she
Nancy Reagan, blowjob queen of Hollywood.
Oh my God, we forgot about Nancy. Feisty, fancy Nancy.
Yeah, no, all dimes.
Well, I'm going to say this. If I had... What would you just drop?
The call, but we're back.
Okay. Okay. Nancy was she was not ugly. I mean, she wasn't a hot babe, but, you know, she's definitely not ugly.
Hey, we love a girl who throws it back, you know?
And apparently she threw around Hollywood quite a bit. That's the word. That's the word on the street. Everyone's saying it. Everyone's talking about it. No, I was thinking more along the lines of June is Men's Mental Health Month, and it aims to break the stigma surrounding the male emotional wellness, and it highlights the silent epidemic of male depression and suicide, encouraging men to challenge traditional toughness norms and recognize mental health. But here's the funny part. Men's mental health is not even supported by any women advocacy groups. None.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's pretty much a grassroots movement that is really taking it's taking a hold. But I think there are two windows or two lanes for men's mental health. There is the shut up and quit your bitching, and then there's, hey, do you need to talk about it? I mean, because there are people, I will say, there are a lot of young people in our society today that will bitch. I mean, just completely like, and then their dads are like, bro, what's the problem? You know? And so I think men being able to talk about their emotional state, their physical state, because it's predicated on their emotional state, does depend on having a good support system. And if women organizations are not supporting men's mental health, it leads to detrimentally bad outcomes for men overall and women, such as, higher rates of domestic abuse.
Okay.
Higher rates of intimate partner violence.
But so just to be clear, you feel these women's groups should be saying like, it's Men's Mental Health Month. Hell yeah.
I think it should be no different than when men's athletic teams support breast cancer awareness.
Okay.
I don't think it's any different. I think that they talk about women's domestic violence. They talk about women's, reproductive health. Hey. And all I'm saying is like, yes, all those are important because those matter because they're tied to people that we love. Just men's mental health is.
It's not a far reach to say, using buzzwords, toxic masculinity hurts everybody, including men. And so I would say not being aware of your emotions and being able to appropriately deal with them is part of that. So I could guess see what you're trying to say.
Yeah, I mean it's true.
Yeah,
it's like, if a bad man is raised on this earth, it leads to poor outcomes for women.
It's true. It's not great for them.
It's not. It's not great for society, and it's also not great for, like I said, men's mental health has been a growing epidemic. As you know, when I took my sabbatical to Europe, I never thought that I would sound like that annoying guy. The annoying guy that's like, in LA, I went to LA once, and in LA, and then
no, you say, I was in Paris.
Yeah, but the weird thing is when I was in Paris, I wasn't even in Paris for that long. I maybe spent a day in Paris when I was there, because you and I went to Paris before. So I wasn't really necessarily like, I got to go see the Louvre. I was more like, I went to go eat some escargot. I swear to God, I'm not even kidding you. I had the taste for snails. And I was like, you know what? Because they saute them in this like fine butter. Anyway, I'm getting off track.
Getting hungry.
I know, Eli, for me to come out to Oregon would cost the same amount round trip for me to go to Paris right now. So I'm like, why would I even go to Oregon?
It's not really a comparison.
They're like, well, you can go have some matcha.
Matcha's acceptable. I would have said like a coffee, perhaps. Decent coffee.
Do you guys even grow coffee in Oregon?
No, of course not.
Exactly.
Nowhere.
Exactly. It comes from like your Ecuador.
And Hawaii. They grow it in Hawaii.
True that. But yes. So
but what you were saying, Men's Mental Health Month. We love men having mental health.
Yeah. And so, when I was on the streets, when I was out on the streets, the mean streets of Pepon and Gridon, which is in Spain, I met a group of people, and they introduced me to their mental health. So how men in a lot of these countries, and when I was both in France and in Spain, I was in these smaller towns, relatively small, like maybe like 80,000 or 100,000 people, which is relatively small. And I was in one of these smaller areas, and basically the guy said, this guy told me, he goes, I've never left here. He goes, I speak English because I've been learning since like the first grade. He goes, and I love Americans and I love video games. And it's like, that's how I learned to speak English. But he told me, he goes, there are two things that have kept me sane here. And this was Griand, which is about maybe 2 hours north of Barcelona, up the coast a little bit. And he told me that the thing that keeps him sane was he goes out and he drinks beer with people from the community. And I asked him, I said, well, what other things do men's mental health, what does it mean to you? And he goes, bro, I don't know. Because they say everybody's bro. Bro, I don't know. I just know that I want to kill myself. And when he said it, and I was just kind of sitting there, and I said, well, what do you do when you do? And, oh, man, I got to delete that. I got to delete that part. Bro, I want to unalive myself. And I say, well, what are the things that you do to kind of make yourself feel better? And he goes, I don't know. And so I think there was a great story you were telling me about, is that there's the collecting world.
Ah, yes.
There are these people in the collecting world who collect things, and it's been a source of enjoyment for a lot of people. And as a collector, I collect my digital technologies and my crypto, and I collect the odd things as well. Whiskey. I used to collect whiskey. Now I'm like, Anyway, so tell me this story about this Lego thing, because I think it's important to talk about this, how this impacts people.
Yeah. No, it's interesting you bring that up. It's actually a local story, even though it's now hit national significance. A lot of people are talking about it all over the country, perhaps even the world. But it's local to me. I'm in Portland, and it's about an hour's drive away down in Salem, the capital of Oregon. There's this store. It's part of a franchise called Bricks and Minifigs, and they've recently had a bit of a kerfuffle going on. They had previously, I believe it was in 2024.
This call will be recorded.
They had a large consignment of...
Sorry about that.
No, it's all good. They had a large consignment of Star Wars Lego figures and sets, which, if you're not aware, Star Wars nerds really love Star Wars. So these, little boxes of plastic bricks were worth thousands of dollars because they were unopened condition, mint condition. And the store had received a large consignment of them from two collectors, a father and son duo, who had been collecting them for years. And finally, they decided to sell them once the father had been... I don't exactly remember what he was diagnosed with, but it was a serious illness. He was sick, and they wanted to sell them to help, with finances and pay for medical treatment, etc. So they put in the consignment with the store. Run that back.
I said that's a great dad.
Yes, yeah. So the son is helping out, being the face of it and helping, putting in the consignment. The store is very happy to get these because these are really desirable. Lego nerds love to splash out for, stuff. Star Wars nerds.
Can we just call them enthusiasts?
Well, you can be PC. I'm going to be realistic.
You call them nerds. I'm like, they're just enthusiasts.
I'm a nerd. But regardless, people who just love Star Wars.
I love it.
And you have to cross over, so they're splashing out big. One of the sets was valued at like $10,000 for like Tatooine or something like that. It was
dog.
And you look at it. Anyway, God bless them. They love it. I don't understand it, but I collect silly things myself, so holding judgment. But anyway, so they put in this large set of Legos, a collection of Legos and figures, valued supposedly at $200,000. It's a really large sum of money for what are essentially children's toys, little plastic figurines, right?
Yeah.
So they're bopping along. Some of the sets were selling pretty well, and then the store, it's a little unclear, was running into trouble. The owners had told the main company, their franchise, that they were interested in possibly selling the store and getting out because of some job offer overseas one of the partners had received, and I guess the store wasn't as lucrative or good or whatever. They wanted to get out, right? The franchise came in immediately, basically did I don't want to say hostile takeover, but they basically forcibly took the store back from the franchise owner and essentially it seemed like they confiscated it, so the franchise owner couldn't do anything the company deemed inappropriate. Fast forward, the new owners come in, and the consignor with this large Lego collection was like, "Okay, hey, what's up? Where's the money? Where's my Lego?" And I guess the new owners were basically giving him kind of a stonewall situation. They weren't really giving him a lot of information, and it came to the point where they were like, "Well, you're gonna have to sue us, and we're gonna bury you in a lawsuit because we're gonna make it so it's not even worth it for you to try to get your Legos back. You might as well just drop it, right?"
I don't know what that was. What was that beep?
I don't know.
That's strange.
Lego's listening into us. They're Bricks and Minifigs. They're
this
trying to
call
silence
is no longer being recorded.
Okay.
Good night.
Okay. We're good.
But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. So the company, or the franchise owners, the new franchise owners, basically were telling the consignees. I'm afraid I can't remember the guy's name off the top of my head. But they were telling them, "Hey, we didn't sign any agreement with you about these figurines, and we've received the store, so we got all the inventory inside it, and basically get stuffed." Is kind of what the headlines were, right?
Get bent.
Yeah, get bent. Like, hey, idiot, you think you can get your stuff back just because you had an agreement with the previous owners? Shut up and go away. And that's kind of bully behavior, kind of crappy behavior. A lot of people would be upset with that. So somehow this character on YouTube called Reckless Ben got a hold of the story and basically started putting it online. A little bit clickbaity, but we can get into that. But put it online that a $200,000 Lego collection was essentially stolen by this company. And it's like, oh, okay, well, it's just a franchise. Certainly once they come to the corporation, they can sort of unravel this and they can iron things out and figure it out, right? Well, I guess they don't have crisis management or PR management over at Bricks and Minifigs because they were basically just stepping on rakes right and left of saying like, yeah, this guy's ridiculous. They can come and sue us. We're going to bury him in lawsuits. This is, the amount of Lego left over isn't even worth it for them to try to get that back. Just really like kind of nasty bully behavior. And you're just like, why aren't you guys just like giving the guy back? They were claiming the previous franchise hadn't had the authorization to do consignment, which according to paperwork they showed isn't true.
Which is like, but that's like basic bullshit language. It's like anyone who's done anything in, trading world, it's standard practice to be like, yo, that's how you can make money.
Yeah. And there's a certain amount of trust and all that.
Well, because people just really don't, they just don't want to leave their shit there.
Yeah. It's like, hey, it's an understandable arrangement to do. I don't have the contacts to find people who want to spend $10,000 on a Star Wars Lego set. You do. You get a percentage of that sale, and then you get to have this really desirable inventory. Well, and then you don't have to have the cost of holding the inventory. You just get the benefits. Right.
Well, Eli, I'm going to play everybody a clip now of the synopsis of this. So, Eli, just hold on and let me just run this clip real quick, all right?
Star Wars collection is at the center of national controversy. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Rachel McConaughey. Bricks and Minifigs has closed its location in Kaiser following allegations the owners did not honor a consignment agreement for a Lego collection worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And as reporter Eli Kuhn explains in our top story, the case is now being tied back to Eugene.
The national Lego resale chain, Bricks and Minifigs, has permanently closed its location in Kaiser, following a dispute over a consignment agreement that's drawn tens of millions of views on social media. Brian Mansell says he and his 83-year-old father, Ed, spent years building a massive collection of Lego Star Wars sets, worth roughly $200,000.
What? So it's his 83-year-old dad, and he basically built this. So it was worth over $200,000 allegedly.
Yeah, we can get into that.
Bricks and Mix, and so that's what they're kind of going with. So there's a Kaiser location.
Yep. Which is just right outside of Singapore.
And so when the ownership changed in 2024, that the new ownership was not required to honor the consignment. That's what they're basically saying now.
Yeah, that's what they're alleging.
A handful of lawsuits and national attention,
which led to a bunch of handfuls. Okay, so they've gone off their rockers. Yeah. But the weird part then became when, let's see, his name is Reckless Ben.
Reckless Ben, not Gentle Ben.
Right.
Reckless Ben.
So I'm going to play a portion from Reckless Ben, who is this is Legal Eagle.
Yes, that's Legal Eagle. He does a summarization of the video. But I don't know how deep you want to get into the whole thing, because that there's hours and hours and hours of videos now.
Yeah,
This has been an ongoing saga. It is enormous.
So what I think is Bricks and Minifigs. Minifigs. What the frick is a minifig?
It's the little guy.
Oh, mini figurine. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Big Unc needed a little educational. Boys and girls, Big Unc just need a little education. But here's my thing. And the thing that I feel is very sad. Is this 83-year-old man and his son spend a decade or two collecting these things, like, building them, buying them, searching for them. I mean, because obviously, if you've ever been part of any community, you know that half the game is building those relationships. Reaching out to be like, hey, Paul, you're a collector of things.
Lego, maybe even.
I don't know. Well, I'm talking to you specifically because you collect real cars and
cars.
Yeah.
Automobiles. Why not?
But one of the things that you do is you build community, and I've noticed that around the world is that when people are able to build strong communities, they have better quality of life. Like they get up, they talk to people. They're like, hey, they get on forums. I never could get into the forum world or the
understandable
or the hellscape of Facebook Marketplace. Oh God, that place is so dirty and dark. But anyway,
I go into the mines every day.
Yeah. But it's people that you get to connect with. And I mean, I think from one of the deals you made, you end up helping a guy sell off his dad's estate.
Yes.
So you've got experience selling off people's father's estates.
Yep. Yeah. No, I do. And the whole relationship part of it is really the most important part. Treating people decently. Hey, I have to make money, but I don't have to make it off at your great expense. Make it a fair, reasonable offer where we're both leaving decently happy. It's like, hey,
But
I could have got more, but this is we're leaving, and I'm feeling good about myself.
But then some fraudsters come in, and this is these what is it?
Well,
bricks and minifigs.
Well, it's the new franchise owner, and then the bricks and minifigs are sort of were backing them up until very, very recently.
So I don't understand how someone buys or acquires my business and they don't have to, like, you assume the debt.
Yes.
So I more recently went into an acquisition with a family member, and in that acquisition, like, the selling party is like very clear, like, you assume all debt as is.
Mm-hmm. And then you become aware of what the debt is and what the assets are. What's coming with your purchase.
Yeah, what comes with this? What am I getting myself into? Is this a simple purchase, or am I going to be like, underwater in 6 days? And what we're finding now here is that no, the original new owners that they sold to, which I'm going to say 80% of this falls on the two original parties.
Okay.
So you said, like, there were new owners who bought it from them, and then they should have been able to return the property, but they didn't.
Yeah, and so
then
they're here. Let me go for a little bit. So the original owners were sort of forced out. I'm not sure Bricks and Minifigs was terribly happy with their management of the store, and that's partially why they rushed in. They sent in a representative from the company to basically like, hey, all right, clear out. And they had some sort of agreement with those people saying, hey, as long as you relinquish all the inventory and everything, you're kind of scot-free at this point, right?
More like, pack your and get the out of here.
Essentially, yeah, they were within a day. They were getting their personal items and being escorted out of the store, essentially. But they had video footage of the security camera, and the lady said, "Hey, some of the inventory here isn't ours; it's consignment." And there's certain paperwork here to make sure stuff is to the right person.
Yeah.
And the new representative was like,
nope.
Essentially, who knows if he had the ability to say it, but it was essentially saying that that wasn't her problem. That's a business problem. They were going to take care of it.
So
like,
strange.
Hey, you're telling us about this deal that, there's other people's stuff here. That's not your problem anymore. Right.
Well, it isn't their problem anymore, but they were just giving the heads up, like, hey.
Yeah. Hey, trying to like make a transition somewhat smooth. So,
or just be decent humans about it.
Sure. However you want to cut it. But it is the right thing to do. Well, the company essentially, I guess they're just they were telling this 83-year-old guy and his son to get stuffed. And for the longest time, they were telling him to get stuffed. They're trying to, there's a video of him talking to the new owners. The store has now been closed as a response to the incredible negative reaction people have had. They just really, really did not like the way they responded to this. And for anyone who's in business, this is sort of a good learning opportunity 101. When there's an elderly old man involved, don't be seen as the one who's trying to scam him out of money. It's a bad look, folks. It's wrong, and also it's very bad. But they basically were telling his son to get stuffed. And, I don't know how polite or rude the son was, and I guess that doesn't really matter. But there's a video of the guy, the new franchise owner, basically telling him, like, yeah, you're going to have to sue me. You want this back? You're going to have to sue me. It's like, oh, you could not sound less sympathetic. And, certainly that's the way a lot of people have seen it, that they've acted in a very abominable manner.
Well, I think the part I come back to, because I do like the fact that this is keep moving, journey into the unknown. Remembering it's not about unaliving yourself; it's about aliving yourself.
Yeah,
and and what I like to think about is, what really comes down to is that there are really special people in this world who have the ability to connect with folks. And then there's the people who don't have that special ability. And so they need to be able to find a way to connect with people. And so Bricks and Minifigs was supposed to give those people that opportunity. Instead, this business chose to squash it. They chose to harm other Bricks and Minifigs because now the whole company has a bad reputation. It's not it's not one store. And that's what we have to prepare for in our world is like, it's not just the one store. It's not that one thing. It's all the things combined that hurt people.
A lot of stores completely unrelated. Because I would have to say Bricks and Minifigs corporate has behaved pretty much the worst things you could do. They've pooped the bed on this response to this, and up until very recently, they've now tried to take a more contrite position and saying they're trying to work with the harmed parties to try to come to an amicable agreement. But up until that point, the CEO had made a couple of videos looking out of touch and pretty unapologetic.
Yeah, I heard he was like going like meow 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 meow.
That is a very accurate estimation. But you have to, and your point that a lot of these franchise owners are completely unrelated to this. I'm sure they're up and doing business just fine. But they were getting review bombed because people are like looking up Bricks and Minifigs and just leaving a bad review on any of them, assuming that they were all, one of a piece. It's more like McDonald's franchise. Most of those are owned independently from McDonald's. But yeah, they were getting absolutely review bombed, and it's like I feel a little bit bad for them because they are unrelated to the matter at hand, and they're still having to pay the price because they're connected. But yeah, no, to your point about keep moving forward and stuff like that, and it's I think collecting can be very, the most fun parts of collecting to me are enjoying it with other people and sharing the knowledge and excitement about, I found this rare set and this and that. That can be really a good way to connect with folks.
Yeah, well, I think right now I want to say to all those people collecting really cool stuff out there, continue to collect, continue to be amazing, and never let these jerkwads get you down.
Yeah, no, you have to police the community, and I think there has been a certain amount of policing because the response to this has been tremendous. The last I checked, the Patreon set up to help the father had over $400,000.
God, dog.
Yeah,
which supersedes. Like I would say, keep the crap. Well, I'm not. If that's the thing, I'd just be like, guys, that's enough.
So that's the other part. So we got kind of clickbaited because the research I did is no one's claiming that there was $200,000 of Lego stolen. That's sort of the initial maybe what the collection was worth when it was intact from the jump.
So that's what the news also reported. So it's not. Yes. So I think the clickbait of $200,000 stolen, which I'll probably put on this show.
Of course,
like they stole 200. The Minifigs stole 200,000. Did they?
Well, yeah, it's 200 collection worth $200,000 stolen. But
did they steal it, or was it misplaced? How much was sold off? But it goes back to a good business practice is number one. Make sure that you CYA cover your right.
Absolutely.
Like, don't just give your items over without something that covers this. Now, they did have a contract. And I said that. Yeah.
They had an inventory and a spreadsheet and what has been paid for and what has not. There was a certain amount of...
They were doing their due diligence, and then the company got sold.
Yes.
And then they're like, well, don't worry about it. And I really do feel like the second owners are also D-bags a little bit.
They sound like D-bags. They did not come across as sympathetic at all. You hear them talk and you're just like, I don't know if who's in the right and wrong, but you sound like someone who is trying to bully their way out of this. You don't have a leg to stand on.
They definitely sound like the people that you don't want in your neighborhood. But
very unsympathetic.
Well, Eli, I think this is a good stopping point for us right now, because I want to help keep this show fresh and entertaining. And so make sure you guys give us a like, follow, and subscribe. Reach out to the Big Unk or Eli. You can find me on my socials at Breaking Big Unk. That's Breaking BREAKING UNK. That's Breaking Big Unk. UNK. BIGUNK. Breaking Big Unk. And Eli, your handles.
Eli, Spencer, 90. And that's on Instagram. That's mostly where I'm at right now. Mostly Instagram.
Yeah. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram. Make sure you check us out wherever you're hearing this. And again, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe. This has been your favorite Big Unk and Eli. And as always,
keep moving.
That's right. I just hit the wrong button. Oh, I got a new one for you. Thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.
Bye.